Okay, so I want to share this because I just got done recording my video for our members this week for their programming rundown, and I gave them this information. So we recently switched programming over, and when we switched that programming, it came out to another system that we use called RPE. It's called Rate of Perceived Exertion. And I love this because if you use it right, it will allow you to be extremely consistent in your output in your workouts. Okay, so now here's the deal. I think a lot of people view like this idea of like consistency as I have consistent effort throughout every day of my week of training. That's not true. So I gave you a little example of like, this is how my training week looks. So on this bar, I have my intensity versus my days of the week. Okay. And so on Sundays, which would be like today, I'm a little bit more low key. So on Sundays, it's kind of like, I just kind of steadily move. I might do some cardio, whatever else, but I move. On Mondays, I'm really stressed at work. So I have a lot of stuff to do. It's the first day of the week. I'm moving. And so like to stop and get my workout in is difficult for me, number one. And then number two, I'm not putting a ton of like mental effort into it. And so when I don't put the mental effort in, I don't get the physical output. So I'm a little bit lower key. By on Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm in the gym. I might do a class, whatever else. And now I'm less stressed about my week because I've gotten a lot of stuff done on Monday. So you see that my intensity kind of peaks up a little bit higher, okay? And then on Thursday, it should be a little bit of a deload week sometimes. So I'm doing just a less intense workout. So my effort goes down a little bit more, probably a little bit higher or about the same level as Monday. On Fridays, just depends on the week. Right now in the summertime, I'm working at home with the kids most of the time, or I'm going to the gym and I might take them in with me to do a few chores or whatnot. And so my intensity, it just kind of varies on a Friday, but it's still not as high on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then on Saturdays, especially if I don't have a lot of stuff going on, or even if we have family stuff going on later in the day, like I'll get after it on a Saturday because I want to make this like, I have more time. So I might do like an hour and a half training on a Saturday or just really get after it because I just have freedom of time and it's the weekend and I just kind of want to grind a little bit. And so then you can see my effort on Saturdays kind of peaks up a little bit. So, but that's what my workout looks like. And when you use RPE, I wrote this down because I was thinking about this as I was driving home from our vacation yesterday. It's like, consistency is all about self-awareness and self-regulation. And when we use something like RPE, if I could utilize the RPE piece and say, okay, like I'm working at a 6 out of 10 today, okay? Or I'm working at an 8 out of 10 today. Well, 10 changes based on how I'm feeling that day. So if I got 5 hours of sleep, a 6 out of 10 is different that day than it is if I got 8 hours of sleep. Okay, because I'm more fatigued. So I'm walking into my 10 being, at a different level, okay? So baseline changes based on how you're doing. Whether, maybe I just got back from vacation, I've been eating like junk, or I'm not hydrated, or it's hot outside, or whatever else. Like, you're not making excuses. You're being self-aware in which your abilities are based on how you're doing that day. And that's how we stay consistent in the gym, and that's how we have consistent output, even though like it's consistent output based on how you're doing that day. That's the beauty of RPE. And that's how you keep coming in. So if you're saying like, well, I just don't know that I can handle the volume, or I just don't know that I can handle the intensity. Intensity is relative to you. You get to decide intensity. You get to decide output and effort. When you see an AMRAP in there, AMRAPs are my favorite. You wanna know why AMRAPs are my favorites? Because like while you are like feeling great because it's Monday and you're just getting after it and you had a great weekend or whatever else, I'm like, dude, I'm stressed to the max. You go ahead and go at your 15 minutes. I'm going to go at my 15 minutes because I know no matter what happens in that workout, at 15 minutes, I'm done. I don't have to do any more reps. It doesn't matter. Like you could do 14 rounds and I could do 7 and I'm cool with that. Okay. So a couple of things there though is you got to lose your ego. Years ago, people that have been here long enough would know we used to have a key rack thing. I don't know how much we actually used it, but one of our clients had made it for us. And it said, check your ego at the door. Okay. It's something that is so important because ego cannot get in the way of your goals and your results. And when you allow that to happen, whether that's, coach, I don't want to scale, I don't want to modify, I don't want to, like you think it's like this bad word. Like scaling and modifying is adjusting the workout, the template, by the way, okay? The workout is a template, adjusting the template to meet your needs, okay? And if you can't do that, or you can't get your ego aside to do that, okay, that's when we wind up getting hurt. That's when we wind up not being able to get the most out of our workout and our effort. Like it does us no good if you try to go at this workout and you're like, oh, I'm trying to go at that person's effort. Like you don't know their thing. Like you don't know how much they slept last night. You don't know how many kids they got. You don't know, like you have no idea what they're doing on the other side of it. But yet we're comparing ourselves to that. You have to check your ego at that door. When you walk through those doors, you have to be like, you know what, I'm going to show up. I'm going to trust my coaches. I know how I'm feeling today. I'm going to trust my coaches to go, hey, let's build this workout perfectly for you. Okay. If you can't do that, it's very difficult for us to help you. Okay. So check your ego at the door. Be self-aware. Okay. Be self-aware and self-regulate, and then allow your coaches to be able to build that workout perfectly for you. That's the beauty of RPE, and that's the beauty of being in a facility that coaches you every step of the way. Take advantage of that. It's what you pay for. See you guys.